Welcome to the Electoral Roadshow with me, Chris Steyn, and Analyst Wayne Sussman. Morning, Wayne.
Good morning, Chris. Good to be speaking to you on the State of the Nation Day.
Before we go to SONA, let us go to George, where the Patriotic Alliance had another big win.
Correct. The Patriotic Alliance have found a very happy hunting ground in George, the third most populous municipality in the Western Cape. You'd have remembered in about the middle of January, third week of January, we spoke about two by-elections in George where the PA took seats off the Democratic Alliance. Well, yesterday they didn't just take a seat off the Democratic Alliance, they got their best ever percentage in a George election and certainly a George by-election, where they moved from 22% of the vote to 65% of the vote and really gave the DA a shellacking in the area of New Dawn Park, which is near the Tembuletu township, in the eastern part of George. And the DA falling from 46% to 34%. The African National Congress, they weren't in the running, but they didn't even get 1% of the vote. So just to break this down, why this result is particularly meaningful for the Patriotic Alliance. When we spoke in the third week of January, we said the key to the Patriotic Alliance winning these wards is, one, they're holding on to their support. Two, the smaller parties like Good and Plastic, Besotho Inwoners and other local parties are moving over because they're not on the ballot and are moving over their support to the PA, and the ANC are moving over their support to the PA. The other thing we said, and it held true last night, is that the PA are registering new voters or voters who've sat out previous elections. However, last night they were also able to win over a good chunk of Democratic Alliance voters. And this is really interesting as we observe the road to the local government election. This, again, the PA getting well over 60% of the vote. And just to explain what has happened in George, in 2021, the Patriotic Alliance only won one single proportional representation seat in George. They were sitting in the cheap seats. They weren't a player in George politics. This morning, as we wake up, they are now the third largest party in the George Council. They have won 5 consecutive by-elections. They've won a seat of the Good Party, and now they are 4 for 4, off the Democratic Alliance, including 3 seats in the space of 3 weeks off the Democratic Alliance. The DA are in deep trouble in George, and the PA are on the rise.
Okay, over to KZN, where the Inkatha Freedom Party managed to keep MKP at bay.
Correct. Now, this was, I always knew that George, there was only 2 parties in the running, and this was a curious by-election to watch. Because while this is an IFP seat, the southern part of KwaZulu-Natal, this is the Ugu district, is a traditional ANC stronghold. And then, of course, the emergence of Umkhonto weSizwe. Umkhonto weSizwe was the most popular party in this ward when we consider the voting districts which make up this ballot in 2024. So this was really hard result to predict of what could happen. And the IFP held on to the seat, winning 43% of the vote, down from 50%, but a reminder to the viewers and listeners that MKP, Umkhonto weSizwe Party, didn't exist in 2021. And the ANC came second, a solid second, with 32%, down from 45% of the vote. Now, where did Umkhonto weSizwe Party finish? Umkhonto weSizwe won over 35% of the vote in 2024 to finish first, as I mentioned. They finished a distant third in this by-election with only 16% of the vote. and the National Freedom Party getting 8% of the vote. When you look at the voting districts which make up the ward, Umkhonto we Sizwe didn't beat the IFP or the ANC in any single voting district. They were third in all 6 voting districts. You saw the IFP winning 4 out of the 6 voting districts and the ANC winning 2 out of the 6. And I would say, and look, there aren't many voters in this part, in the area of Khlanzeni and in Kalokazi, in the Mzumbe municipality, in southern KwaZulu-Natal. But this is a crucial win for the IFP. We've got a number of by-elections coming up in KwaZulu-Natal. Over the last few weeks, we've been speaking a lot about the Western Cape. Over the next few weeks, our attention is going to shift much more to KwaZulu-Natal. And the IFP are the first party out of the starting blocks on this road to the local government elections.
What are we looking at in the next round of by-elections?
We have a 2-week break and we have 3 by-elections coming up. The first one is a ward where we've already had a by-election. We had a by-election, I think, about a year ago in the area of Bryanston and Blairgowrie in Johannesburg. We have another by-election here. This is one of the safest DA seats in the city of Johannesburg. So it's interesting to see quite a crowded field, not Action SA, not Rise Mzansi, not Bossa. I don't think the Freedom Front are running, but there are other parties challenging the DA in the stronghold. And then we go to Polokwane, which is the most populous municipality in Limpopo, a by-election very near the Moriah area where the Zionist Christian Church's headquarters are, and the Easter gathering takes place. This is an ANC stronghold, so the ANC is going to want to lay down a marker in Polokwane in 2 weeks' time. And then the one which is probably the one which is the hardest area to explain, but the most anticipated by-election is Nongoma in northern KwaZulu-Natal. This is a National Freedom Party seat. Nongoma is an area where the National Freedom Party have traditionally done the best in KwaZulu-Natal and therefore the best in South Africa. But this is an area where the IFP will believe they can win the seat and again continue this momentum. But Umkhonto we Sizwe party will want to show that they are a party which can win seats like this in northern KwaZulu-Natal, and the ANC will want to show, I don't expect the ANC to win, it would be a major upset, but to show that they still have support. So it's going to be a very interesting race. That's, I think, the by-election you and I will review first when we next speak in about 2 weeks' time.
Like a soapy breakup scene, selling your car can be an emotional experience.
Just how dramatic was the car selling experience?
Not dramatic at all. I did my research and We Buy Cars was by far the best price.
Very not dramatic. But I like drama.
I was standing there watching my phone, waiting for the money to get in, and there it was.
Yes. Car, driving.
We Buy Cars, the easiest way to sell your car, by far.
I wouldn't mind a little more drama. Anybody bring me some tears?
Indeed. Well, tonight is the State of the Nation address, or the terrible state of the nation address, depending where you put the terrible. Are we in for another disappointing speech from President Cyril Ramaphosa? What do you think, Wayne?
Well, as you know, I'm a single-tracked election guy. Now I've got a few more tricks up my sleeve or and other skills, but let me just say this, that we are in an election year. So even if the election had to take place in late January, and I still think it will take place in November, that's what the indicators suggest, the president is not going to have another State of the Nation address before the local government election takes place. Therefore, we know going into an election year, the president will want to be upbeat. He'll want to think of policies and suggestions which will stimulate the economy, which will see an improvement in service delivery in this election year. This is, yes, there are many challenges beset this great country of ours right now, but always in an election year speech, the president will want to exude confidence and optimism and know that while many residents across Gauteng, from the suburbs to the townships, currently sit without water, that he has a solution for that. That he'll want to project that there will be economic growth and job creation, and that the country will improve in this calendar year. I think he'll reflect strongly on the G20, that this was a success for the country, and that there are more signs of good to come. But again, it's going to be a challenging speech. I don't know if people still have the drinking games like they did with the Jacob Zuma era, but let's see whether South Africans are going to tune in and whether it shifts the needle. I wonder.
You mentioned the water crisis, Wayne, and let's go to Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi showering in a hotel while people are queuing with buckets. Somebody likened it to Marie Antoinette saying, "Let them eat cake." Lesufi, "Let them shower in hotels." Your thoughts?
Yeah, sometimes politicians should keep quiet before speaking or whatever comes to their mind. And this is a real own goal. Again, the city of Johannesburg is facing an immense water crisis right now. I also understand Ekurhuleni is also experiencing this right now. And this extends not just to the suburbs, but to working class areas, to townships, to the inner city of these metropolitan areas. This is a major challenge. And if the ANC and its coalition partners cannot turn it around, I think it'll pay a price at the ballot box. Just to remind viewers and listeners, Johannesburg is the city of the most residents in the country. Gauteng is the province of the most residents in this country. And it's also where much of the media is located. Biz News, one of the exceptions in beautiful Amanus. But if there's a negative media sentiment, which I believe there is right now, about this water crisis, and it's understandable, I think it does not bode well for Dada Morero and the ANC. And they need an urgent plan which shows an improvement. I mean, this has been a problem, a crisis festering for many months now and possibly years. And we are in an election year, and there needs to be an urgency. I know Dada Morero unveiled the bomb squad. Residents haven't seen this bomb squad do much. Now is the time for action. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of ANC councillors who will lose their proportional representation seats at the very least come the next election. There are few greater challenges facing the ANC right now in this water crisis.
Thank you. That was elections analyst Wayne Sussman on the Electoral Roadshow with me, Chris Steyn. Thank you, Wayne.